Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right. So, Pisces, we're going to jump on into this one. And Pisces always, I like to change up the backdrops each week. Pisces, this is your first video of the week. You'll still be getting another one, but this one's a little bit different. So, on Monday, I was not around. Well, I wasn't around enough to be able to get videos out for my zodiacs. And so, what I did to utilize my time is something I used to do a long time ago. Those of you who've been with me since the beginning of my channel, I used to sometimes write down everything that came to me as I'm sitting kind of like doing a little meditation. And so Pisces, I did that for you guys on Monday. And then Monday night when I got home and was able to do a card pull for each zodiac, I did that as well. So I'm going to get you all caught up on what that is, and then we'll go into the rest of the readings. So the messages, as I was just kind of sitting there thinking about things, what I got for Pisces was, first off, the image of a charcoal filter, like the kind of charcoal filter that would either like filter out impurities like in water, for example, or even something like to clean a coffee pot. But what's interesting is that it was either like something needed to change that charcoal filter, or it was just that awareness that there is a filter on something. Because what I actually got was above that, the world needs to see Pisces as they actually are. That was the message. So it's funny because maybe it's like if Pisces has been feeling like, oh man, I got to be minding my P's and Q's for everyone. Maybe Pisces' own beautiful, authentic, unfiltered self is already clean enough, already awesome enough, And then the next image that I had in my mind was of, first I thought it was grapevines, and I crossed it out because I was like, no, it's not grapevines. It was wisteria that was growing. But instead of it being the purple wisteria flowers that you're used to seeing, they kind of grow like little grape leaves or like little grapes, but they're flowers. It was actually tiny little gold balls. And so it wasn't purple at all, but it was the thought that I had associated with that is that there's like money hanging right in front of Pisces' eyes, like something that they could capitalize on, something that's like right there for the taking, right there for the picking. This could be their own talent, maybe, or something that was that I almost said that wisteria that Pisces has not yet recognized is just kind of like draping and growing. And the thing is, I mean, if you've ever seen wisteria grow or grapevines, they are insidious. They are all over the place. They just go banana pants and grow like crazy. So it almost seems like there's a great idea that if Pisces ran with it, it could be fantastic. The next image I had was of red curtains, like red kind of heavy drapery curtains, but they were blocking out all the light. And on one hand, at first I was like, oh, well, maybe that's how a character wants things to be. But the vibe I got was no, those big drapes need to be like pulled back, because as soon as, in my image, in my mind, as soon as these big, huge, kind of like brocaded or heavy red like velvet curtains, which were beautiful, but as soon as they were pulled back, it let light shed into a room, and there was like, on a coffee table specifically, there was like some dust accumulation and some little stains to clean off. And it was like saying, hiding things or not letting fresh light in was kind of like helping our Pisces to ignore some stuff that they might not have wanted to still have in their personal space. And that could be like, I'm not going to say this is the equivalent of like rose-colored glasses being on. Hey, Rach, great to see you, love. But it could be that someone has been kind of like not seeing everything. And if they did see everything, they would be like, wow, I'm glad I saw that, because I don't want to deal with that. I want that out of here. Next, I had, it's so funny because I was thinking of the word frequency, but it was like a play on words, because I was like, frequency is somebody raising their vibration, is the frequency of something increasing in Pisces life. Are we talking about a wavelength frequency? And then the play on words aspect was freak frequency. And I was like, okay, is that the need for an increase in, just having more fun, more sensuality? But after that, it was more like, it was just like a playful play on words. It was more lighthearted. It wasn't anything too serious in that mindset. And it took my brain off on a whole other direction toward, like, specifically, I don't know if anybody will know about this. I saw this when I was a kid and we thought it was great, but Danny Kaye films, old Danny Kaye films, we used to watch those. In particular, I think it's court jester is the one that is coming to mind. It's whichever one he's singing inchworm, inchworm, inch. It might have also been in Thumbelina because he did that too. But it's that song then came into my mind. Inchworm, inchworm, measuring the marigolds. Seems to me you'd stop and see how beautiful you are, or they are. Inchworm, inchworm, worm, inch. And then the last thought that I had, so I don't know if marigolds or pausing to see how beautiful something is important, but the last thing that I had come to my mind here at the bottom of the page is somebody who was laying down with like a washcloth over their face. They were laying in the sun, and they, were like blocking the sun from their face so that they could kind of like take a nice nap. So it's interesting because we have the red curtains blocking, then we have a washcloth blocking, we have a charcoal filter, we have a lot of things blocking in this. Some are good, some are not. So I kind of thought that was an interesting, like, reoccurring topic that was coming up. And then when this card got shuffled out, it was so funny because this card is associated with a play on words as well. So this is the songstress. And the descriptor for this card, by the way, it is card 11, could be associated with a Libra, doesn't have to be. But the songstress, it says, think of it like, well, the word universe is like, if you hyphenate that word and say universe, it means like one song, all combined. And so it's about like not holding back. It's about singing one's heart song. It's about, that is kind of like we're all a part of the same universal flow, and our voice is added into the chorus. And it doesn't matter if we sing off key or not, it's just sing what's true for us, sing our own heart song, and trust that the universe is going to like hearing our voice added in. So there's a real sense of like confidence, which I thought was funny because it kind of linked back to so many of the images that I had, earlier in that day before I got home that night and was able to pull a card. So I thought that was kind of a funny, or I'll say serendipitous little blend. So now let's get into this story and we'll see where this goes. Hi, Kate. Great to see you. I love it. Kate McGoddess. I love that. Oh, great name, honey. Okay, so this is kind of like my Akashic record card. This is some hall of wisdom, some halls of books. This is, I would say, if we're going to couple it with everything that we've already seen in the little notes that I wrote, and yes, you guys had a whole freaking page, but if we couple all of that together, it kind of looks like Pisces is ready to do something a little bit different. They're ready to like sing their song that's going to be their next chapter of life almost, or they're ready to do a timeline jump. They've been thinking about it. This says our Pisces has been stewing and brewing. We got that 5 of Wands that's going over and over and over in one's mind, maybe even spitballing ideas with friends, but I don't think so. I actually am looking at this more like Pisces has been considering which route do I want to take, because I'm feeling like maybe I want to see things different. Maybe I want to express myself more fully? I feel like this Pisces has been either like, subduing their throat chakra a little bit, not really singing what they needed to, not really saying what they needed to. Even that songstress and that idea of like the charcoal filter and like maybe not needing to filter one's own voice too much anymore. I'm wondering if the message here in this story is that Pisces has been debating, do I go ahead and start being the person who says really fully what's on my mind? Should I go ahead and do that? Can I do that? This says with the Ace of Swords, look, maybe Pisces has something they need to tell somebody, and that could be the sword that cuts off a connection. Maybe that's what needs to happen. Maybe if Pisces needs to go ahead and say certain words to somebody because it's the truth, it's Pisces truth. We have a King of Cups. This is Pisces speaking, definitely speaking what's on their heart. Now, if this is about Pisces debating whether or not they want to go ahead and tell somebody exactly how they feel about them, maybe Pisces has, like beautiful emotions for someone, and they would really like to tell somebody that they love them or that they care about them, and they don't know how that person's going to react. I got to say this, to be loved by a Pisces would be a very, very big gift. emotional and sensitive and all of those beautiful attributes. To be loved by a Pisces would be such a tremendous gift. So why not? Why would someone not be? I mean, maybe it won't be a reciprocated love. Of course, that's always possible. But on the other hand, I would think anybody could be so lucky to have a Pisces care about them this way. Now, we have two cards of extremely bonding energy, right? We have the seahorses mate for life, and that's what's on the crown. And then we got that Two of Cups. So I'm wondering if Pisces is feeling like, I don't want to miss out on any opportunities in my life. If there's somebody I care about, I'm going to go ahead and let them know. I don't want to let anybody slip through my fingertips just because I didn't tell them how I felt. If I need to reach out to someone from my past who I still care about, I'm going to do it. Or I'm certainly thinking about doing it just so I don't have to wonder 90 years from now what might have happened if I had said what my heart felt. What might have happened if I told somebody how I was feeling all those years ago? Would the outcome have been different? This feels like, if that's the timeline jump, if our character is about ready to go ahead and just openly, speak what they're feeling. We have oneness and we have Eight of Swords. I gotta say, there we go again. Like, the oneness is kind of like the connection to the universe. The universe ultimately is kind of like a great representation of the flow of life force energy and the flow of universal love. So if we're going to mimic that, we're really going to get in the pool and swim around, then we're probably going to exhibit a lot of love. And again, with the idea of like, sometimes is it hard? We can think about those emotions. We can think about love. We can think about, hey, I want to be a reflection of the universe. The universe is loving, so let me be loving too. And then when it gets to our lips, we go, oh gosh, in the 3D world, it's a little harder to say those things. So this is an internal struggle, it looks like, that Pisces has been having. Now, here's the thing. Chances are the person that Pisces feels an energetic connection to is feeling the exact same thing. And I only say that because we got two pairs of hands here. Here they're holding on. Here we got a pair of hands, feeling blocked. And they may be sharing a vibe, but if neither person ever gets around to saying something, at least in this fictional story, this could end up being a huge missed opportunity. I'm feeling like two hearts need to connect. Two hearts that actually care deeply for each other really need someone to facilitate their conversation. Two of Wands. Again, we keep seeing two people, a two every time that we're talking, it seems like, in some capacity or another. But two people that both need to make a choice. Because I feel like somebody's spying on somebody with this. This could be whoever Pisces cares about, focusing and still spying on them, but again, being indecisive. I don't know. Can I say to Pisces that I'm thinking of them, that I miss them? Can I pick up the phone and call them? Let's change decks and let's ask, universe, what's the big message on this? Every zodiac has gotten a different message. Pisces is the only one who's had a message where I feel like they're the ones who are more courageous in the situation and maybe about to like reach out and do something that is right for themselves. And then it's not even about like, oh, I have to have this person back or my life will be. No, it's more like, I want to make sure that I send out the vibes that I feel that are really beautiful vibes. I need to make sure that I don't leave any stones unturned, or that I never speak what's in my heart. That's more what I feel like. Hi, Atala. So nice to see you, sweetheart. We got an Emperor. We got a Three of Pentacles. I keep seeing collaboration and this energy. And here again, we have like open the mouth and sing a song. I always think of it that way. Like, I always say that like Aries is singing, because he kind of is. Like when he barks, I mean, yes, sometimes he barks as a warning, but other times he sings when he's happy. We go outside to go on his walk and he sings up a little storm to the neighborhood to announce to everybody that Aries is on his walk. Aries mama is with him, taking him on his favorite walkie. And he looks at people and he wants to tell them these things. And I'm like, I'm sorry, my kid likes to talk, he's singing his happy song. And I just feel like that's what we have here also. We have this lion, this emperor, who's got a lot of their own song that needs to come out. It just feels though like Pisces is the one to get the ball rolling. If people are going to collaborate, what does it take? Well, it takes at least one person to pick up the phone and reach out. Now, there could be a mediator involved between Pisces and this person. Maybe a friend. Sometimes meddling friends are the best. Sometimes, heck, if this is a work-related potential romantic connection where Pisces feels really drawn to somebody, they're feeling like their boss, their colleague could be somebody really special, but at the same time, they're like, I don't know if I can say that. And the boss is feeling like, I feel like Pisces is my forever person, but I can't say that. Maybe it does take some meddling, like well-intentioned subcontractor or HR director or someone to kind of bring it up and be like, wow, you two would be a great match, and maybe help break the ice. I almost am feeling like there's some benevolent force that could be at work. If this is really the direction that Pisces is like, I really need to make sure that somehow, some way I express how I'm feeling. There could be a little help from the universe, especially Pisces and this other individual who could be an Aries, it could be an Emperor. If they're both feeling the same way, God, I just need to tell you how I feel. This almost looks like it's going to happen. Let me just ask a little bit about how is this happening? Because I don't know why we have 3 people on that card. The Hermit, and then the 9 of Pentacles sideways. Either it's just that characters are going to think on it long enough and hard enough that the vibe that they're sharing is going to finally become known. They're both of these say this is 2 single people, right? The 9 of Pentacles is single. The Hermit's always out there single. So we have 2 single hearts that are both thinking along the same lines. And I almost think that just through proximity, just through context clues, just through the wavelength that they're sharing, which is, I like this person, I care about this person, I feel like there's something special here, I don't know what to do about it. I feel like if they both are feeling the same way, that third energy here might not be a meddling, well-intentioned friend. It might actually be their thought processes are starting to almost take shape between them. Like sometimes you can stand there and have a conversation with somebody and words that were not spoken from either person's lip, it's like they both heard the thoughts of the other and it's just an understood thing. I almost feel like that is the manifestation of thoughts into thin air, but both minds heard what was unspoken. Pisces may have that non-spoken conversation with this person at some point. And again, talk about maybe a timeline jump, an Akashic record, like what would happen if, what is that song? What if I told you, what if I said that I love you? What would you say? What would you do? I think it's a country song, probably around the 90s. Most of my country songs that come up in my head are like from the 90s, sometimes older. But I don't know. I almost feel like this is just simply going to end up happening because suppressing it isn't really working that well. And I think the more there is this acknowledgement of, I need to know how this timeline would go if this were a possibility. There's no guarantees here, but it seems like this momentum is building that it's like, I need to know what would happen if. And it feels like that's a shared energy between Pisces and another person. So to me, it says it's only a matter of time before these two somehow have an understanding that they're both interested in this. I don't know, though. They could do the song and dance for a long time. We got the finish line in the reverse, that 9 of Wands. That there is a lot of holding back energy. This all depends on, I would say, again, the willingness to sing one's own heart song. It depends on our characters, like, to the point where I don't care if I look foolish. I just need to say what I really feel, or I need to think this really loudly at this person, or next time I see them, I'm determined I'm going to say this. And maybe they're going to be in that same vibe where they're like, next time I see Pisces, I'm determined I'm going to tell them how I feel. And then it turns out neither one of them has to say it because it's already like an understood moment where things change between them. The problem is these two could be dancing around that for quite a while, because that that card actually came out in the reverse. It could still take time, but you know, it's our character's choices. It's always about choices. And I feel like one holds back when the other one would move forward, then they swap places. So let me just ask this, because I can't leave it like that. What would be the remedy for that? I mean, other than saying, well, just say it. But it's not that easy for our characters, right? King of Pentacles. One or the other character, and I don't know who, I'm feeling like it might be more them, because they showed up as an emperor. So I'm thinking it's more on the masculine side, although Pisces showed up as a king of cups. So they showed up as a masculine as well, because both of them are thinking about taking action. It doesn't matter what genders they are, but one of the two of them, I feel like the best remedy for this is for one of the two of them to sit in one space long enough, and maybe even like meditate on this long enough, and maybe put themselves in the path of the other one. I mean, obviously these two must encounter each other. So there has to be like a settling of energy so that neither one of them skitters away too swiftly. It's about like clicking something into place so it doesn't rattle away, which kind of means somebody's got to plunk their butt down and obviously be like, I'm not going to end a conversation with Pisces next time I see him until we got a chance to really relax in each other's company. Because I feel like there's a lot of like nervous energy in this that needs to be, again, peeled back, like the no more filter. They need to have like a real heart to heart with, even if it's like, I don't know if I'm going to get to the point of blurting out like, oh my God, I think I love you, but they need to like connect and communicate in a relaxed way where there is no rush. You see, he's kicking back, he's chilling. It could still be a serendipitous meeting, but I feel like somebody is going to be putting themselves in the other person's path. It's like, hey, if I know around this time of the day you take your lunch break, maybe I'll try to take my lunch break too, and be like, hey, I know you always sit over here. I intended to sit down so I can have lunch with you. Hope that's okay. You know, and then just sit down and enjoy each other's company. I feel like that's what they need to have, is some safety zone, but very clear intentions. I'm here to enjoy your company. It doesn't have to be proclamations of love, but that might take the guesswork out of stuff, the nervousness out of it, and bring it back to, let's begin at the very beginning. I want to sit in your energy. It's as simple as that. And then that gives the other person the reassurance of, they wanted to sit in my energy. They like my energy. I like theirs. Now I have more confidence to say, well, and where do you like to sit? Because tomorrow I'm going to come sit with you in your lunch spot, you know, or they need to share the energy of, I trust now that you wanted to see me. You like my energy. I like yours. So now we can both sit in that knowledge, that comfort zone. But one person does have to kind of plunk down into the energy, is what it says. I hope that they do. I hope one or the other of them does this, because if they don't, they could be missing out on a really great thing, is what it says in this one. So I'm always cheering for them. Atala, thank you again. Rach, you sweetheart. Me too. Thanks again for being here, Kate. Really appreciate it. All right, guys, thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. I will see you Pisceans again later on this week, or my Pisces cross watchers, whoever's out there. But thanks for hanging with me, guys. Bye for now.